submitted to its saying, "Let us arise and build." And they strengthened their hands for good. In the same way, let us look for people who have the same feelings as us to support our project of saving our children. We can have those who pray for them, those who keep an eye on them, those who watch over them during our absence. 4. Organization of work and assignment of tasks. Chap. 3. Nehemiah's assigned the jobs, getting everyone involved in the part of the project that somehow interested them in a particular way by family, occupation, territory, etc. We were always told in classes, do not put a carpenter to do secretarial work, or a mechanic to do work that involves delicacy and neatness. Let's not delegate the responsibility of educating our children to people who are not going to teach them correctly. 5. Risk control v. 4. 14-17. In every project, a so-called contingency plan must be created for any eventuality that may arise that may oppose its completion. This project of Nehemiah found some who opposed it. Sanballat called them weak, questioned the success of the project and tried to sow discouragement in the people, but Nehemiah stood up and brought a word of encouragement. Then I looked, and I stood up and said to the nobles and the officials, and to the rest of the people, do not fear before them. Remember the Lord, great and fearsome, and fight for your brothers, for your sons and for your daughters, for your wives and for your houses. And when our enemies heard that we had understood it, and that God had defeated their counsel, we all returned to the wall, each one to his task. From that day on, half of my servants worked on the work, and the other half had spears, shields, bows, and breastplates, and behind them were the leaders of the whole house of Judah. Those who built on the wall, those who carried, and those who carried, with one hand. They worked at the work, and in the other they had the sword. 6. Execution control, activity management, monitoring and progress reporting. Chap. 5-6. During this part of the project, whoever directs it has to ensure that people are working in accordance with what is stipulated, and that they are motivated. Part of the people felt discouraged, they had no motivation to continue working because they had given their children as slaves, and seized their houses and land because of the debts incurred to be able to eat and live. Nehemiah served as mediator so that these debts were forgiven. 172. Including the return of the interest that was demanded. This was done in prayer before God, to which all the people responded, love and praise Jehovah. We have, in a certain way, given our children and homes to slavery, supposedly wanting to give them the best, to have what we did not have, and for that we work hours and hours neglecting the time that we must dedicate to them so that they can see the latest fashion, that they are at the level of their peers, that they do not feel at least, etc. In reality what we are doing is creating complexes for them. I heard in a commercial that 7 out of 10 people in this country are in debt, and it seemed horrifying to me.